want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya, D-Mac. Hold on, Matt Ryan.
D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
it? Wide open again.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Oh, I'm excited. I mean, this feels like Friday right now. Goodness gracious. This is as excited as I've ever been for a Tuesday show here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. 877-377-6963, our Cherokee Casino hotline. I'm excited because this is the last show I'm doing for the week. Heading to the Bahamas with women's basketball tomorrow. Honestly, can't I just be excited about going to an island paradise instead of worrying about the pressure-packed feeling you can get around the holidays? And yeah, I'm excited about Arkansas basketball. Nothing like a buzzer beater, or as close to a buzzer beater as you can get without it actually being one, to continue getting you fired up and making you think that a 5-0 start for a basketball team is the real thing. And, as one thing that you can obviously take heart in from last night's outing, never mind the way that it finished, how about the idea, Ty Richardson, that defense travels? Offense didn't necessarily travel yesterday for Arkansas, but it hasn't really even been traveling at home very much. But defense won on the road, and you can always win a game defensively, and that's exactly what Arkansas did yesterday. An impressive 62-61 win in overtime. One of the weirdest overtimes that I have ever seen, with not a single point until, the last 30 seconds. And it wasn't from a lack of good looks. Maybe you're a little worried about the shooting for Arkansas and what seems like an inability to score for right now. But defense travels, Ty, and this team's winning games defensively. And yesterday was a great way to get on the road for the first time under Eric Musselman.
Phil, I know that you and I have discussed the prospect of if this team was not able to hit shots on the road. And I know Georgia Tech is no powerhouse. It's not like you're traveling to Cameron Indoor or Allen Fieldhouse or anything like that. But it's a top 100 RPI road team, I think, or top 100 KenPom, potentially an NCAA tournament team. I don't think they'll go, but at least you have that. And you got on your resume, I know they had one of their better players injured, but you were still able to overcome some poor shooting defensively. You look at what they were able to do. They forced 23 turnovers. They go 2 from 11 from the three-point line, Georgia Tech. The defense traveled, and you're going to need that the rest of the way, not only in Bud Walton Arena, but if you struggle shooting on the road like they did last night, Phil.
Chandler and Roland reminds me it's a 6-0 start, but I'm aware of that. I said you were wondering about questioning the 5-0 start with 5 games at home against lower-level competition, and maybe one of those teams that you faced to start the season will be an NCAA tournament team, that being South Dakota. But when you go on the road in the SEC, it doesn't matter to me that Georgia Tech is picked 12th in the 15-team ACC. It doesn't matter to me that their starting point guard, Jose Alvarado, who dropped 20 on the Razorbacks last week, was out with an ankle injury. What matters to me is that we're seeing consistently now, game after game, and against a team in Georgia Tech that's got some guys who can shoot. Remember, Michael Devo led the nation in three-point shooting, or was second in the country in three-point shooting, and they only got one three-point shot off yesterday. It's that this three-point defense that Arkansas shows, and it isn't just three-point defense, it's defense overall. I mean, they lead the country in defensive three-point percentage at 13.6% for opponents behind that three-point line. But you see it in so many ways, and there's buy-in to this team defensively. And it's, to me, there's no greater example of that than Isaiah Joe, who has another off-day shooting, 13 points. I think he got shut out in the second half and in overtime.
And he had some good looks, like
had
you
some
mentioned.
good looks, some
It's not
really
like
good
he
looks.
just was jacking them up. There was, I believe, 3 looks in overtime, maybe 2 corner threes and a little floater, a little jumper mid or baseline that he had a chance at, but he just couldn't knock anything down last night, Phil.
But with all that said, look at the rest of his line here. 9 rebounds, 5 steals, and included one of those missed threes in overtime. He sprints down the court, makes a tremendous steal running into the passing lane. I think it was right around the bucket in the paint, and that shows, that this team, yes, they're going to struggle to score. It's 5 games in a row now that they've really had a lot of trouble putting the ball in the hole, but it doesn't seem to faze them when it comes to the other aspects of the game. Yes, they'll struggle to rebound, and that was, again, the case yesterday, minus 15. But there's an obvious buy-in to this team, and we've talked about that quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. But when you do it on the road, never mind the idea that this buzzer beater and a little bit of a fluky quality to it, because a win is a win. You go on the road and you win, especially winning defensively and in a dramatic way. Ty, this Arkansas basketball team has some serious going in their favor, and it should carry in to the next month of December, in which you get 2 more difficult road contests, and those will be your toughest games before you get into the SEC at Western Kentucky and Indiana. And if yesterday's any example, defense will travel to Bowling Green, defense will travel to Bloomington.
Couple good statistics for you. Arkansas hasn't won in Atlanta against Georgia Tech since the 60s. I know they haven't played a lot there, but that's kind of significant. Muss is the first coach since 1942 to win his first 6 games. Eugene Lambert won his first 10. That's via Pig Trail Nation. Got the other status from Matt Jones of Whole Hog. And then this is their first Power 5 true road win since 2004.
Really?
Is that right, Brendan? Who was it against? I can't remember. Missouri. Yeah. So it's been a while since they have gone to an opposing venue, Power 5 non-conference, and won a basketball game. So a really significant win. And you could see the emotion coming out of Eric Musselman last night. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos, but there was a good contingency of Arkansas fans down in Atlanta.
Sounded like it on the broadcast, too.
Yeah. So there was and Atlanta's kind of like Nashville. It's just a big southern city. I know more adults that I'm friends with that have settled down there. I don't really have any my age group, but it seems like that there was a decent amount of fans that made the trip over to watch the Hogs play, and Musselman was going berserk after they won that game last night. I don't know if you saw the different videos, Phil, but
I saw him leading a hog call with the Georgia Tech cheerleaders, right behind him, trying to, finish out their routine. Do we have the final call from Chuck Barrett? Do we have this to play?
I can find it real quick.
I'm sure it was played on the Morning Rush at least a couple of times, and why not play it here on halftime? Because when you get a dramatic moment like that, and Chuck nailed it with the call, a great video too of him courtside, standing up, raising his arms, pumping his fists. It was exactly the way that I experienced the game, sitting in a restaurant in Fayetteville with a friend of mine, and everybody just went bonkers. It was a great moment to be a part of, whether you're on the air, or whether you're a Razorback fan, or whether you're one of the players. And right now, it's the signature moment of a very brief Eric Musselman era.
Joe to Jones, got to hurry now. 3, 2, 1. Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a 3 with 0.1 seconds to play. Arkansas's got the lead 62-61. Prayer answered, and the Hogs are up by a point.
Phil, I know you can appreciate this as a play-by-play guy, but Z didn't say a word. And if I'm Z, I'd be screaming. But you can see him get still and then react. But props to Matt Zimmerman for letting Chuck finish his call, because that's a really difficult thing to do in a color guy situation in a game winner like that.
I was waiting for the Matt Zimmerman laugh that we've heard on so many of the other calls. But props to Z for letting Chuck do his thing there. So, by the way, no timeout before the final play. Get used to this. We just saw a window into Eric Musselman's mind, into what you can expect moving forward when the game does come down to the final shot. I know we've got a clip to play here, Ty, but I don't know if we've got enough time to play it with less than a minute to go.
We can hold it.
We can hold it into the next segment. But, in an era where coaches simply overcoach near the end of the game, you don't need a set play in order to score. And look, I'll say this: Georgia Tech did defend it very well, but the result stands for itself. I would expect you don't see a lot of times out near the end of games when it's a tight one with Eric Musselman at the helm. I think he's going to show a lot of trust in his players to find a way to get it done. You can trust Breeden RV in Van Buren to get you a great deal during the clearance sale that's been going on for a while now, and they're going to let you take the stress away with a new or used RV, and you can pick your deal of either sales tax paid, no payments for 6 months, holiday cash back, or more for your trade. Whatever works best for you works for Breeden. That's Breeden RV in Van Buren, and also at BreedenRV.com. 877-377-6963. Get with Halftime right after the break.
Listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson. Follow them on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP and at Ty Sports Radio. This is the Morning Rush.
I get sick and tired of hearing all these national media members think that Arkansas was wrong for firing Chad Morris. Do they watch this season at all? Do they watch any games this year? Arkansas lost to San Jose State at home. They lost to Western Kentucky, got blown out by them at home. I don't know what team they've been watching this season, but to me it is completely and totally justifiable for firing Chad Morris.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Fall is my favorite time of the year. Football, fine weather, and my chance to flip the lot. We're out to sell every single car in our Rath Road Ready inventory and flip the lot during our fall clearance. That's right, every vehicle must go. To make it happen, we're discounting our entire inventory with savings up to $4,300 below retail. Even our special purchase vehicles are included, like 2018 Hyundai Elantra SELs for only $13,991. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and 50% off brake pads. Don't miss out on the savings. Help us flip the lot. Get the Rath Road Ready vehicle that's perfect for you and save up to $4,300 during the fall clearance at Arkansas's #1 rated and reviewed independent dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
At Chambers Bank, our Arkansas roots grow deep, and you can trust us as your partner for every banking need. From a simple checking account to your first home loan, whatever you need, big or small, we are here for you. With 18 convenient branches throughout the state and a full suite of online banking options, we will always be available when you need us. Family owned in Arkansas since 1930, Chambers is your full-service community bank. Bank with trust at Chambers Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 631520.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half-price. And all beers on tap are half-price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
The biggest discounts ever during the Black Friday sales event at Harry Robinson's Sallisaw Ford. 2019 Ford F-150 regular cab. The lowest price ever. Only $19,999. 2019 Ford Escape slashed to $23,750. And the 2019 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive Super Cab. Only $29,999. The biggest discounts ever during the Black Friday sales event at Harry Robinson's Sallisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! Touchdown!
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Joe to Jones, got to hurry now. 3, 2, 1. Jones for the win. He got it! He got it! He got it! Mason Jones banks in a 3 with 0.1 seconds to play. Arkansas's got the lead 62-61. Prayer answered, and the Hogs are up by a point.
It certainly had the feeling of a prayer that Mason Jones put up. He said he did not plan on banking it in on Banksgiving. Hey, do we have to give credit to Tommy Kraft for that one, Ty? I thought I saw Tommy tweet something like that.
I think that is a Tommy original. John was not a fan of it. I was reading that tweet in my bed last night. I genuinely laughed. I told him that this morning, and I told him, it's like, Tommy, if I don't think something's funny, you say, I'm not going to laugh. But I told him in genuine fashion this morning, I thought that was funny. So
I didn't think it was a bad dad joke. I thought it makes sense. It's the 1 week of the year you can actually use this.
It was a dad joke, but it was a funny dad joke. There's a big difference between when dads think their jokes are funny and when dad's jokes are actually funny, and that falls in the latter of that category, Phil.
Get on over to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge this week on 906 Garrison Avenue. They're coming up with great food. Top chef that's on staff that has lunch and light dinner items you're not going to find anywhere else. Chicken pyro, Cubana, or wings that are jumbo roasted with honey bacon jam. Sounds delicious. Plus salads, flatbreads, and desserts. Plenty of coffees for lunch or dinner, and in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. And, of course, at 906, all the top shelf wines and liquors you can find, premium beers, and the most popular brands of cigars available in Arkansas. They're on Facebook. That's 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Sample, indulge, and escape. Let me indulge you in some interesting statistics about this Arkansas basketball team right now that does fit into yesterday's ball game, and then we will get to this final shot. Eric Musselman talking in the postgame about Mason Jones' final shot. No, not calling that timeout. So defense does travel. Arkansas gave up 61 points. That's a season high. But right now, defensively, they're allowing 50 points per game, third best in the nation. Georgia Tech finished the game 22 of 53 from the field. That's 41.5%. That's better than most teams have shot. But Arkansas is 10th in the country, allowing 35% from the field. And we've seen game after game, teams just don't get good looks from behind the three-point line. Now, admittedly, Georgia Tech does not try to shoot a lot of threes. They only attempted 11, but they only made 2. Only one team out of the 6 that Arkansas has faced this year has made even 3 three-pointers, and that was South Dakota, the most shootingest three-point team in the country over the first few weeks, and 14.1% is what Arkansas is allowing from behind the line, 13 for 92. That is number 1 in the country. But it isn't just those percentages, Ty. It's other things that work into this here. 23 turnovers forced by Arkansas defense. They have forced 20 or more turnovers in all but 2 games, and they've forced at least 18 turnovers in 5 of 6 games, and they turn that into points, as they did yesterday with an 18-11 scoring edge on the points off turnovers. It's really something to see them do this, because I went through and counted it. They've scored 132 points off of turnovers this season. That's almost 1/3 of Arkansas's points. That's a punch in the mouth when you take the ball away and then you go score.
And they're getting these turnovers in the half court. You've seen under Mike Anderson and Nolan Richardson's teams the ability to pressure on ball 94 feet from the rim. But Eric Musselman has employed a different approach where they're just playing stifling half-court defense, and they're still forcing a ton of turnovers. And they're not giving up a ton of open looks too, which sometimes is the other side of playing the press, because you're willing to give the open quick shot early on in the possession. But they're playing really stifling defense, and you have to be satisfied thus far. Got a text in from Tom in Fort Worth on the Cherokee Casino hotline, Phil. He says, the relentless Hog defense gets me so fired up. It's been a long time since I've seen our guys bring this fight like they have early in the year, and people are starting to notice. Real-time RPI has Arkansas at 7. Kim Palm has Arkansas at 22. Joe Lenardi gave Arkansas some props last night. Scott Van Pelt mentioned them on the 12 o'clock hour of SportsCenter. So you're starting to gain some national love and national interest as well. Again, it's early on the season. This team is not ranked. They really haven't played an incredibly quality basketball team. But fans, there's more and more fans jumping on the Muss Bus, Phil, and I'm excited to see where this team ends up this year because so far it's been pretty good.
Defensively, they just fly all around the place.
Yeah.
And that's around the three-point line. That's in the paint. That's up and down the floor. To me, they really do play, I think, the sort of defense that you would have expected under the fastest 40. Kind of making it hellacious for an opponent to get a wide-open look or even a good look because Georgia Tech didn't really get a lot of good looks. At this point, it's 6 games in. It's not a fluke. This defense is a real thing. This is what this team is hanging their hat on, and that's something that Musselman touched on after the game. You can't just be a jump-shooting team. And for Arkansas to score, they're going to need to make some jump shots. But on the other hand, if you're quick and you can force turnovers, and this team isn't just forcing turnovers, they're stealing the ball. They're 6th in the country, averaging 11.7 steals per game. That can lead to quick strike offense, which to me is what I thought Fastest 40 and 40 Minutes of Hell was all about. You've seen a little bit more, I think, of the 40 Minutes of Hell in these 6 games under Eric Musselman than I think you saw under Mike Anderson last year.
So I want to bring up that connection because we got another text here on the Cherokee Casino Hotline. This is Rashad from North Little Rock. He asked the question, every game this basketball team competes at this level, it makes Mike Anderson look bad as a coach. I don't necessarily agree with that 100%. And you can say, oh, well, they had Daniel Gafford last year. What would this team look like this year? We have additions of Jimmy Witt and some other guys this year as well. It's not necessarily an apples to oranges argument, but before you start making comparisons against Mike Anderson, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Eric Musselman's not going to be better than he is because I simply don't know, but you're going to have a lot of people who jump on the Muss Bus bandwagon, Phil, who automatically say and automatically assume that he's a better basketball coach than Mike Anderson just because they felt like Mike plateaued to a certain point. But let's not forget, the next Arkansas football coach is inheriting a terrible situation. Muss inherited a good situation. When Anderson left him was not bad. Like, it was a very attractable situation to be the Arkansas basketball coach. It's not the same in football. You're going to see a lot of people criticize Mike Anderson the more this team wins. I just don't think that's necessarily fair when it comes to concerning the 2 basketball coaches, Phil.
All right, let's get into this final shot that Mason Jones hits. Is it a buzzer beater when there's still a 1/10 of a second left? To me, I think that's still a buzzer beater because you can't do anything with the 1/10 of a second. So to me, this was the buzzer beater, and Eric Musselman didn't call the timeout. And here's what he talked about after the game.
The 2 guys and they probably didn't shoot the ball enough at times in regulation, and is Isaiah Joe or Mason. Those are the 2 guys, and obviously I didn't drop a bank shot, but we'll take it and go home and get on a plane and enjoy the plane ride back.
Phil, you mentioned the timeouts throughout the show. Arkansas has only called 1 timeout this season. That was Adriel Bailey when he felt like he was going to get a 5-second call on the baseline. Eric Musselman himself has yet to call a timeout this year. I think he's really wanted to see how his players react to turbulence early on, so when he needs these timeouts during SEC play, he can save them and he can know that, hey, this is how my players are going to react in a stressful situation, during a run, whatever the case may be, because it's only going to get more difficult from here on out. And you still got 2 decent non-con games coming up on the road, Indiana and Western Kentucky, so we'll see what happens there as well.
In fairness, there hasn't been a moment of turbulence for this team until, the entire Georgia Tech game. They weren't pushed by any of the first 5 teams when they win those games by an average of 28.2 points. So there was no reason for him to call any timeouts at home, and then to not call one yesterday in a tight ball game that, the biggest lead was a 9-point lead. Your biggest deficit was 3, so it was tight until the very end, obviously. And I just think some coaches have a default setting to call a timeout when it comes down to a final shot like that. And I don't know if that's a matter of not trusting your players, but you don't always need to, scheme something up. You can leave it to the players and see what happens. And I think that's exactly what Musselman was getting to there. You've got your 2 shooters. It's pretty obvious where the shot's going to come from, and it's up to them to try to create it. Now, in fairness to Georgia Tech, they defended that as well as they possibly could.
Correct.
as well as they could. It's a step-back three from about 3 or 4 feet behind the three-point line. A defense will take that shot any day of the week if they're defending at the buzzer. But, there's a little luck involved with it. And shooters shoot, don't they, Ty? And that's what Mason Jones did.
Exactly right. But apparently he didn't call glass.
I gave the ball to Isaiah. Isaiah took 3 dribbles to the left, to the middle. They double-teamed him. He threw it to me. I dribbled 3 times, step back, backboard. God bless us.
There's time for one follow-up if anybody has a follow-up.
Call backboard? I definitely did not call backboard.
Hey, I love the honesty, Phil. He was open about it. He said, no, I didn't. He's a little bit of luck, but sometimes sports, it's better be lucky than good sometimes.
Exactly right. Halftime's brought to you by Breeden RV in Van Buren, and the year-end clearance sale continues. They've got the deal that you can pick, either your sales tax paid, 6 months and no payments, holiday cash back, or more for your trade. Whatever works best for you will work best for Breeden. BreedenRV.com or Breeden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren. You got any questions for our next guest? That's Nikki Chavanel from Rivals coming up. We'll talk some basketball and football with Nikki, of course. It does lead into the Battle Line rivalry, the final game of the year for football for both Arkansas and probably for Missouri, although the Tigers are still waiting to find out whether or not they'll be eligible for a bowl. Don't ask the NCAA to get it on their calendar. They'll work on their own calendar. 877-377-6963 is the Cherokee Casino hotline. We're talking with Nikki after the break.
When in doubt, expense it. You're listening to Halftime.
We wish you happy holidays from Breeden RV in Van Buren, where the year-end clearance sale continues. The holidays can be stressful. Why not take that stress away with the newer used RV? We'll even jingle your bells by letting you pick your deal. Sales tax paid, no payments for 6 months, holiday cash back, more for your trade. You choose the deal that's best for you. Remember, every new RV comes with Breeden's exclusive free maintenance for life.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Thanks, Eddie. Come see us on Alma Highway in Van Buren or visit us on the web at BreedenRV.com.
See dealer for details. Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing Altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to WaveRuralConnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold? 3 times. It's that cold. So make sure the mountain on your can of Coors Light is blue, because that means it's ready to enjoy. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Save up to $2,700 or no interest for 5 years on a brand new Hot Springs hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. The holiday sale is going on right now. Every hot tub in stock is on sale with over 60 luxury spas to choose from, and they start at just $26.95. Right now is the time. This includes delivery, cover, and startup chemicals. Stay warm and cozy this winter in your brand new hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. It's the perfect gift for you and your family. And right now, up to $2,700 off or no interest for 5 years on a brand new Hot Springs hot tub. And as part of the holiday sale, check out the full line of Big Green eggs and accessories at Burton Pools and Spas. It's the holiday sale going on right now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickups, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Touchdown!
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
He's going to heave it to the other end. Joe intercepts it. Arkansas wins. Arkansas wins as Mason Jones hits the three. The Razorbacks are 6-0. What a finish in overtime in Atlanta.
Let's go to the Cherokee Casino hotline for this segment and talk with our usual Tuesday guest. The one and only Nikki Chavanel from Rivals.com is joining us right now. And I saw Nikki at the last home basketball game. Nikki, I felt like I threw you off a little bit when I said, hello, Nicole. When's the last time you'd been called Nicole?
Oh, man. People call me that as a joke, but honestly, I've never once been called that. My mom called me Nikki since I was born.
So naughty, so like I get called Philip by the parents when they're angry at me. If they're really angry, they would throw in the middle name, Philip Harold. So I guess your parents were never angry at you.
I was just an angel. No, I would just do stuff behind their back.
Well, so I've seen you at a couple of basketball games. I know you were watching last night, and the thing that stands out right now, about this basketball team, there's two things. I mean, you're going to be excited about a 6-0 start. Everybody's on the must bus right now, and there's no reason not to be. Defense obviously travels, but the offensive problems continued at Georgia Tech. Now, it's going to be awfully difficult to stay undefeated if you have trouble scoring like Arkansas is right now.
Well, I think fans should just be happy with what we've got going right now. I mean, Arkansas was not – I mean, it's not a given that Arkansas should be undefeated through however many games anyways. Like, no one really knew what to expect in Musselman's first year, so I feel like a 6-0 start, the first true non-conference Power 5 road game on the win since, 2004. Like, that's huge already. So, I'm just kind of going with the flow. I haven't really put super high expectations on Eric Musselman, although they have kind of already increased a little bit since he got here, especially with how well he's doing in recruiting and all that.
So you know what I loved from over the weekend, and it came from Jalen Williams' announcement that he's going to Arkansas. It's this whole sort of there's been like a grassroots growth of this hooping at home moniker that I think could actually become a thing for Arkansas. And it didn't come from the marketing department. It didn't come from any research firm or anything like that. It simply came from a kid that they were recruiting who made a simple statement. And to me, hooping at home, I think that's something that Arkansas could really glom onto.
Yeah, I mean, I think every kid has had their own thing. Moses Moody had It's Time, Arkansas, and then when Devo signed, it was like, I believe in three, and now it's hooping at home, and I think KK Robinson will probably stick with that as well, although who knows what he'll come up with. I think they're just so player-centric, like with the fun parody photos that they take on visits. Just all about what the kids want. They get an idea, and they run with it. They don't care if you do a commitment video. They don't care if you do the hats and the signing ceremony. They just want to do whatever you want to do, and the staff has clearly bought into it by creating their own now it seems weekly videos, but it's about to slow down now, so enjoy this time while it lasts.
Talking with Nikki Chavanel of Rivals on the Cherokee Casino Hotline. Nikki, you mentioned KK Robinson. He's committing on Thursday. I know you told us a week or two ago that you're still pretty confident about him at Arkansas. Has anything changed since then?
Nope, and I just feel like he's had his decision kind of made in favor of Arkansas for a while, ever since he took his official visit. He took it with Moses Moody, and at that time, he talked about how him and Moses had long talks while on the visit about playing together there at Arkansas, and the staff pulled out all the stops with the details on exactly what they're going to help him work on to get his game to the next level. And then he had 4 schools at the top of his list at the time, and it just feels like Arkansas has been the constant, and they're certainly doing everything that they can to keep him in state, by visiting him every week that they could. Even in Virginia, not exactly the closest place to go, but they've done everything right so far, and they've got three of his friends now on board. So I still have Arkansas in the lead for sure. There's just been no momentum for Kansas, and that would usually come up by now.
Nikki, we had a question from Rashad on the Cherokee Casino Hotline. This is a football one. He's asking, what have you heard from recruits as far as who they would prefer as the next Arkansas head football coach?
I haven't heard much about who they prefer or anything. They're just excited to see who comes in and make sure that it's someone that they could see playing for. I mean, these aren't the types of questions that recruiting reporters should really be asking these kids. We attempt to not influence their process in any kind of way, and usually a conversation like that would involve some back and forth, and I wouldn't want to put any ideas in their head, and you know.
That makes sense.
Well, they're paying attention to the names that aren't there, and I know you guys at Rivals have done a great job of kind of picking one coach and showing the pros and cons. And I saw Barry Switzer came out saying that he thought that Mike Leach is the right fit, and he's not the only one who's thought that. I know you guys wrote about him, I think it was yesterday, so give me your digest of what you think the pros and cons of Mike Leach at Arkansas would be.
Well, it's definitely been tough for me to keep up with all these, because I could probably write one every day, but it's just been tough with, football and basketball still going on right now. But the Mike Leach, I mean, personally, I think he would be great as a media member. I don't know that any media member would be against having a guy like that, unless you don't like long press conferences where, you can't really write much from random quotes. But he's a great personality, and he's clearly won at places that aren't known for consistent winning. At Texas Tech, he took them to 10 straight bowl seasons, and when he got there, it was like the 101st offense in the country, and he made it the 11th best offense in the country, and that was just in one season. So that's something that I feel like he could do pretty quick with Arkansas if he was given a good quarterback, and he probably already has one committed over there at Washington State. I haven't looked into that too much, but it might be a tough sell to get someone who's committed to Washington and Pullman to come to Arkansas, but you never know if you love Mike Leach enough. The only thing I would worry about is if he hasn't recruited in Texas in a while. He tends to stay out there on the West Coast due to where the school's at. But another thing is also you never know what you're going to get from Mike Leach, and if you're kind of a more conservative-minded board member, you might not be able to get on board with that. He's gone so far as to cost, I think it's Washington State, some big donor dollars because they didn't like the certain types of political conversations he was getting himself into.
One thing that stands out about Leach, I think, is that he's got not just a track record of winning, but a track record of doing what he's known for a long, long time now. And, you feel sometimes like, Chip Kelly's offense, everybody else has caught up to it. Same with Gus Malzahn. And in a couple of other cases. Nobody's ever really stopped Mike Leach and his teams from scoring. But let me flip this a little bit. So we talk about most of the coaches that we've brought up are offensively minded. And then yesterday the name Luke Fickell gets thrown out, the Cincinnati coach, and he comes from a defensive background. What do you think about the idea of maybe the next head coach having a defensive background, or does it even matter because you just want somebody who can hire some good coordinators?
I mean, a lot of current successful SEC head coaches have been on the defensive side, but you've got guys on both sides. So I really don't think it makes that big of a difference where Arkansas's defense is right now. It might be good to have someone who's a little bit more defensive-minded. I know Chad Morris didn't have his hand on the Arkansas defense very much, and maybe that is why Arkansas's defense is very poor, but the offense isn't great either. So I think it is more about your offensive and defensive coordinators being able to, have their schemes at the highest level and the most innovative. But Luke Fickell, I mean, he has coached in Ohio his entire career. He has never left. He's very Catholic. I've heard that the only schools he would consider leaving for are Ohio State and Notre Dame. And I think he likes his situation at Cincinnati right now. Arkansas would be a huge risk for him, for a guy who's never really stepped outside of the lines of Ohio.
Very good. Hey, in 30 seconds or less, do you let your food touch itself on the Thanksgiving plate, or does it need to be separated just so?
like you made fun of me
Yeah,
last
we
year
did.
for my
You remember that, Phil?
Thanksgiving
Did we do
plate.
that last week,
Yeah,
last year?
Last year we made fun
I
of her.
do not like my stuff touching, but my plate wasn't done yet last year. I promise.
I remember
That's just
that.
a bad
That's right.
picture.
Nikki needs one of those plastic plates
Yeah.
that's sectioned off just so. All right, Nikki. Well, good luck making sure the food doesn't touch, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys. You too.
You got it. I'd forgotten about that.
We-
It's a stock question for this time of the year, Ty, isn't it?
We roasted her for it, Phil. We absolutely roasted her for it.
And
last
this time of the year, it's not November, it's Yesvember at Road Chevrolet.
Yeah, yes, November at Road Chevrolet. Best Black Friday deals they've ever had. So many different deals right now. Prices you love and the people you love going on right now at Road Chevrolet. Exit 2A off I-540 in Van Buren.
Wrap up the first hour of halftime right after this.
You're listening to Halftime.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
Our Black Friday event continues this week at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren. Hi, this is David Neal inviting you to save over 25% on a new 2019 Silverado Z71. That's up to $13,000 in savings, and save up to $6,000 on new Chevy Blazers. And I'd like to personally invite you to come in this Friday for free food and soft drinks to let us say thank you for your business. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. Find new roads.
See dealer for details. Eagle Crest Golf Course is open, and winter rates are now in effect. Just $35 to enjoy Eagle Crest Golf Course, card included. Winter rates are back, and Eagle Crest is ready for you. Lush zoysia fairways, beautiful bent grass greens, and the best views in the River Valley. Just $35, card included. So get your golf buddies together and head to Eagle Crest Golf Course. Winter rates just $35. Eagle Crest Golf Course, Highway 64, just east of Alma.
Barley is the soul of Budweiser. That's why we've been working with the same family-owned American farms for more than 50 years to harvest it. The secrets to growing this grain perfectly have been passed down through 3 generations. For them, it's a legacy. And it's why only the best barley and locally sourced ingredients are used to make Budweiser. Budweiser is proudly raised across America. This Bud's from our barley farmers. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
We did it again. Evans Body Shop has been voted the best independent collision repair shop in the River Valley for the 2nd year in a row. None of it would have been possible without our top-notch crew and our customers, friends, and family that take their time to vote for us. We would like to say thank you. We are humbled by the continued loyalty and support from our community and staff, and will continue to go above and beyond every day. Evans Body Shop, 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren. Come by today and see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Frank Rowe Furniture's Black Friday sale will be opening Thanksgiving Day at 2 p.m. and regular hours on Friday and Saturday for a 3-day Black Friday super sale. 5-piece queen bedroom suits $5.99, 5-piece king bedroom suits $6.99, black or white kids soccer beds $50, glider rockers and regular recliners $150 while supplies last. Customers with purchase of $1,000 more will receive a free 32-inch TV while supplies last. Frank Rowe Furniture Black Friday sale, best seats in the house.
It's getting colder outside. Did you know you could save up to 60% on your heating bill by converting to safe, reliable natural gas from AOG? The savings can actually pay for your conversion cost. So why pay more to heat your home and water? The convenience and abundant supply of American-produced natural gas makes it the right choice. Call AOG or visit AOGC.com and switch to natural gas today. AOG, energy for life.
Make this Christmas a Christmas they'll never forget with the late model extra clean vehicle from Hertz Car Sales. Find your special loved one the gift that makes Christmas last for thousands and thousands of miles. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard today and find there's no better way to buy your next vehicle just in time for Christmas. Call them today at 783-1722 or check out the great selections of vehicles in stock at buyfromhertz.com. Merry Christmas from Hertz Car Sales. What are you waiting for?
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Joe, for the record, gets it from the corner. Isaiah with the three. That's his 103rd of the year, and he sets an Arkansas record for made three-point baskets in a season.
Well, there's a couple of weeks left for the giveaway to 3 nights in Branson. Can still go to hitthatline.com once per day up until December the 10th, as long as you are old enough to drink legally. It's not that you'll be, drinking while you're doing it, but you got to be 21 or older to enter the contest. You get 3 nights at the Hilton in Branson, tickets to a Christmas show. You'll go to the North Pole Adventure at the Shepherd of the Hills, get the Christmas music Ferris wheel ride from the Track Family Fun Park, and plenty of Branson restaurant gift cards. Again, that's once per day that you can enter at hitthatline.com. All you got to put in is your name, your email address, and your phone number. You can do it up until December the 10th. You got to be 21 or older, and it is brought to you by Branson Convention and Visitors Bureau, hitthatline.com, and ESPN Arkansas. All right, it is game week, the final game for Arkansas football, mercifully, in this 2019 season, trying to find a way to not have your second year in a row with double-digit losses. And someone's got to win this ball game. Missouri has been taking it on the chin. Arkansas has been taking it on the chin for the last couple of months. So I saw in the 24-20 loss to Tennessee this past weekend, Missouri allowed over 400 yards passing to Tennessee. I mean, that feels like 5 games worth for Arkansas right now. So does it really matter who is starting at quarterback? I think the only thing that really is piquing interest about the who could start at quarterback is that once again Barry Lunney is not showing his hand. You've got apparently the potential for any one of 3 quarterbacks to start, either freshman KJ Jefferson, walk-on Jack Lindsey, or Nick Starkel could start, because you got a couple of oars right there on the depth chart that was released yesterday, and a whole lot of other oars on the depth charts. I mean, this final depth chart feels a little bit like the first depth chart way back in August before the Hogs played Portland State. So, I mean, right now KJ's dealing with being in concussion protocol. Starkel's still banged up. John Stephen Jones did not even see the field this past Saturday. Ben Hicks, you even forget he's on the team right now. And it really feels like the only option is Jack Lindsey, which would be your 5th starting quarterback of this season and the 8th starting quarterback of the last 2 years. That is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing to think that there could actually be, in a 12-game season, 5 different starting quarterbacks, and over a 24-game stretch to have 8 different starters. But that also speaks to the level of quarterback play for the last couple of years, specifically this year for Arkansas, how bad it has been.
Here's what Barry Lunney Jr. had to say about that.
Yeah, it's been a strange year. Some of that has been a reflection just of the status of our team. It's kind of been a microcosm a little bit of that. We've just been inconsistent in a lot of areas, and all those guys have shown flashes when they've gotten their opportunity, is where you could validate their opportunity to start, with some of the things they've done during the course of the even games, the opportunities they've been given. As far as Jack goes, I mean, I've known Jack obviously for a long time, and he's that guy that just kind of stays in the corner and stays quiet. Now, listen, he's not quiet, but he's got a lot of personality, and our players really gravitate toward him. He just knows what's going on. He just knows where to go with the ball.
The Ferris wheel continues with the quarterback. Phil, just wild if they were to start Jack Lindsey against Missouri on Friday in Little Rock.
And to think that the quarterback who will start for Missouri, you were hoping would be your quarterback this year.
Yep.
And again, maybe Kelly Bryant may have made a little bit of a difference. I know that was a show topic we had about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
But quarterback play has been abysmal this year, to the point where the team passing efficiency for Arkansas is the 5th worst in the country. Only Vandy, Rutgers, Old Dominion, and Northwestern have a lower passing efficiency than the stable of Arkansas quarterbacks this year. All right, we want your calls and texts up until 2 o'clock today. It's 877-377-6963. The Cherokee Casino hotline will get you here on halftime. And first up on the phones today, Carl in Lavaca, making it 2 days in a row. What's up, Carl?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Doing good, especially after last night's basketball game. That really kind of gooses the state a little bit.
Yeah, I know. We haven't had many high points this year, but I just want to say a couple of things. First off, even though that final play last night was a little Anderson-esque, we went to overtime with the team and held them to 61 points. I would take that any day of the week.
I agree. Now, here's one. Let me answer you real quick, Carl, because I think what does stand apart from I know what you mean when you say Mike Anderson-esque feeling, meaning you didn't really get a good look. Mike would have called a timeout. Right. He would have. I don't know if he would have drawn something up, but it would have come off of a sideline inbound rather than what Musselman did, which is kind of like allow the flow of the game to dictate where the shot was coming from. If this is his philosophy, I like it. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. But also, I just want to touch on how big of a get Jalen Williams is. Obviously, most of us know that. But, I mean, Isaiah Joe was our leading rebounder last night. And, I mean, that could be a testament to a good team, I guess, defensive scheme of boxing out. But our shooting guard should never be our leading rebounder. But also, in the football, I'll just throw one last point in there. This quarterback debacle, I didn't think it could get any worse than it was last year with Ty Storey and Cole Kelly. But obviously, Arkansas never ceases to amaze us. However, I think Saturday you go with what could be our future in KJ Jefferson, because I don't think Starkel's going to be it. However, we've had pretty good history with Fayetteville quarterbacks, so I wouldn't mind seeing Jack Lindsey in there.
See what happens if they can clear concussion protocol, because both Starkel and KJ Jefferson are going that. Barry Lundy Jr. said they would have more information on those two today, but obviously if they don't get cleared, there's no chance of them participating.
Yeah, I mean it all depends on either one of them. I think clearing the concussion protocol, and if KJ is clear, I think he's your obvious starter, and it's not that he's been terrific or anything, and I do think there's something up with that left shoulder, which might be one of the reasons why he's been sliding and avoiding contact rather than what you saw like in his first play of the year where he ran over a Mississippi State safety. And I'd rather he not get hurt, because he's the future of quarterback here at Arkansas next year and the year after.
Yeah, I totally agree. However, I got one last thing. I don't want to stay on too long. I know I got other calls to get to. But did y'all hear about what Ed Orgeron said to Treylon Burks the other day during the game? I don't know if this is true, but apparently Ed Orgeron looked at Treylon Burks after the game and said, "You can come over here to LSU and play for us." I don't know if y'all heard that or how true that is, but
it's good recruiting.
I think that's pretty interesting, kind of funny.
He's got he just showed exactly why you'd want to play wide receiver for the Louisiana State Tigers based on what you saw from Jefferson and those guys.
If you're all right just sitting for a whole year, we'll have you over here in Baton Rouge.
Carl,
I just ate 40 pizzas in 30 days.
I don't know if he can understand. I don't know if Treylon can understand what Ed was saying, though, Carl. So you got to think about that, too.
Yeah, true.
Carl,
totally agree.
Appreciate that phone call very much. Enjoy having Carl on there. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. And it's got to be an acquired taste to understand what Eddie O is saying. His players know what he's saying because they've been around him for, months by now.
Yeah.
But if you have not actually had a real conversation with Ed Orgeron, it's got to be awfully difficult to understand what he is saying.
Speaking of Ed Orgeron, let's play this clip, Phil. This was him apologizing yesterday because apparently his comments on Saturday night were out of bounds in the realm of college football.
Let me say this. There was a comment I made after the game, and I want to apologize if it came out wrong to Arkansas. I love them. I had a great time up there. I have some good friends up there. By no means that was to demean them. That was just the mood of our football team, and that we have bigger goals down the road. So if I said something wrong, I apologize to them, but I know those guys are some good guys up there. Really appreciate those
now,
guys.
Phil, why
come on, Eddie,
why
come
didn't
on.
they have to go do that? You kicked Arkansas's tail. Arkansas is a terrible football team. There hasn't really been a rivalry in quite some time. I have no problem what Ed Orgeron said on Saturday night. Now, there are some fans, I cannot believe that you that let the LSU head coach say that, well, then shut him up. Shut him up in Fayetteville next year. Make him regret saying that. Make the players say, we listened to his bulletin board material all week. That's why we were motivated to win this football game. Until you actually beat LSU, until you beat some of the SEC teams, they're going to continue to think of you as a laughingstock, and that's how it should be, period. End of story.
I like the open talk. That's not smack talk coming from a coach. He's just speaking the truth. He is speaking what is in the mind of any other head coach in the SEC, and none of them are going to say it. They're going to give Arkansas, the right amount of credit being an SEC team, and that they wear cleats and jerseys and pads just like everybody else. But you know the truth if you've paid attention, especially these last 2 years. Just like Eddie O said, Arkansas hasn't beaten anyone in a long time. Just seems, I think he felt bad about it. So it does go to show Eddie O's got some feelings too.
Well, Phil, Thanksgiving this weekend. People tend to, especially on Wednesday nights, which we've talked about last year, they tend to do some drinking this weekend. What beer should they grab?
Well, I mean, if you want to leave room for a lot of food, it'd be Coors Light.
Exactly right. Ice cold, the most refreshing beer. Cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. The perfect beer to pair alongside that turkey, gravy, mashed potato rolls, cornbread, whatever you're having this weekend. Get you some ice cold Coors Light, made to chill.
I found out from the women's basketball team we're having Thanksgiving dinner Thursday night, but there will be no turkey. It's not going to be a regular Thanksgiving meal. It's going to be a little bit weird, but I think I'll enjoy some conch. We'll have the second hour of halftime right after the break. Stay tuned.
You always get more at Orr. The year-end clearance offers at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith are so big. It's like Black Friday meets Cyber Monday meets after Christmas sale. All rolled into one. Like 20% off new 2019 half-ton Silverados. That's 20% off all trim levels. Even if you want a high country model. Looking for a crossover SUV under 20 grand? Or Chevy's got them. The new 2019 Chevy Trax is clearance priced at $19,643. Or if you'd rather save big on a 2020 model, Or Chevy is taking $6,000 off 2020 Chevy Equinoxes. Plus, with any new vehicle sold, Or Chevy will give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So find new roads and save 20% off a 2019 Silverado today at the River Valley's favorite, Or Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive under the giant American flag. All offers with approved financing through GMF. Surf OrChevyFS.com for more details. And remember, you always get more at Orr.
Reaching a summit can sometimes be the easiest part of the journey.
I realized that I had stopped doing some of the things I really enjoyed because of my knee pain.
A double knee replacement presents its share of challenges, but with the right care, amazing things can happen. And with the orthopedic team at Baptist Health, you can take your health to all new heights.
It was a great sense of accomplishment from me.
Keep on reaching, keep on conquering, keep on amazing. To schedule an appointment with a physician, call 1-888-BAPTIST.
Our Black Friday event continues this week at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren. Hi, this is David Neal inviting you to save over 25% on a new 2019 Silverado Z71. That's up to $13,000 in savings, and save up to $6,000 on new Chevy Blazers. And I'd like to personally invite you to come in this Friday for free food and soft drinks to let us say thank you for your business. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. Find new roads.
See dealer for details.
I'm Frank Mir, former UFC heavyweight champion. My career in the UFC was tough on my body. I was considering stem cell therapy, but now, thanks to water-soluble CBD from CBD American Shaman, my life is so much better. CBD American Shaman has a water-soluble product made with nanotechnology. The nanotech allows CBD oil to mix directly into the water in a cloud when other CBD oil would just float on the top of the water. American Shaman doesn't make claims. Their customers do. CBD American Shaman, a CBD like no other.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Big storm coming our way. Unsettled weather in the forecast. A lot of clouds streaming in through the night with steady to slowly rising temperatures. Could see some areas of light rain or drizzle. We're eventually going to climb to the low 70s by later on Tuesday with elevated chances for showers and thunderstorms and windy conditions. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Proceed.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Bush and Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Halftime is brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your evening on the Avenue.
Hey, guys, enjoy your show out of all the sports programs in the state. I really enjoy y'all's most.
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya, D-Mac. Hold on now, Ryan. D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
it? Wide open again.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
We went into the second hour halftime on this mostly rainy Tuesday afternoon across the natural state. We appreciate you tuning in today. Phil Elson, Ty Richardson, and you, if you'd like to be a part of it. Throughout the next hour, we have open phones. 877-377-6963 is our Cherokee Casino hotline. Good for a call or a text. Eric in Hot Springs had asked what the spread is for the football game this next Friday. Opened at 12.5, and all of the lines right now show Mizzou is a 12-point favorite. So that's, what is that, 5 straight losses for Mizzou? And they're a 12-point favorite on the road at Arkansas. Ouch.
Yeah. Not a Vegas just doesn't have a lot of love for the Razorbacks right now on the football circuit. By the way, did the basketball, was Arkansas favored against Georgia Tech last night on the road?
Let me go back and look. I thought they might have been a slight favorite. I got this one right here. Let's see. Arkansas was a 2.5-point favorite, Ty.
So they did not cover last night.
No.
So they're 5-1 on the season when it comes to the basketball team covering. The football team, I had the stat in front of me, and now I just can't, or I had it in my brain. Now I just can't remember. But the football team has not had much success against the spread when it comes to Vegas stuff.
Well, they've had a little more success against the spread than against the opponents.
Just a little, yeah.
3-8 against the spread, including 2-5 in home games, and this counts as a home game. So there you go. Let's see here. The game is broadcast on CBS, as it always is. I wonder how many eyes it's going to get. I mean, people are just looking for a game to watch the day after Thanksgiving if they're not in the shopping throng across the country on Black Friday. I never want to get caught up in that shopping throng on Friday. That's like, it's supposed to be the day where more money is spent on retail than any other day. What are you going out for that day? Why in hell would you go shopping the day after Thanksgiving? Everybody else is out there. Why don't you pick a day that nobody is there?
The deals, man.
Doesn't make any sense to me. Stay home. Stay home. Watch Arkansas and Missouri. And to me, I mean, even watch, if those two teams go 4 quarters without scoring, it would be more enjoyable than going shopping the day after Thanksgiving. I would rather watch 3 yards and a cloud of rubber pellets than go shopping the day after Thanksgiving. And maybe I'm a little skewed here, Ty, because if there's one thing that I really don't enjoy, it's shopping. Shopping for anything, clothing, gifts, even for the loved ones. I feel pressure when I go shopping for them, like I'm not going to get them something that they want. So I don't know. I guess it's part of our duty to be an American. You got to shop for people at some point the next month, but don't do it on Friday. Watch Arkansas and Missouri if you're not at War Memorial Stadium. Ty, I know you're headed to the Rock. That's because Brad lives there. Your dad's still there. Are you going to go to the game? You going to find a way to weasel your way into War Memorial Stadium, part of the sellout crowd?
Sellout crowd. That's a good one. Well, Tommy just told me today, asked if I was going. I wasn't planning on it because I was coming back to the post-game show, but with John being here, I might stay down in Little Rock for an extra day and go to that game. It just kind of depends on the coordination. I haven't fully decided on that. I'll probably talk to Tommy after the show to finalize the details, but I'm curious. You saw a good crowd last year despite the weather, despite the conditions. How's the crowd look this year in War Memorial Stadium? It's going to be pretty depleted compared to what it was last year, I would think, Phil.
It's going to be very depleted, and I live in Little Rock. I'm not there now, but I'd heard some radio hosts on my drive up here or just listening to station recently They're trying to pump up people in Central Arkansas, is almost making it like a civic duty to show up for the game, to try to outdraw the games at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. It's an odd thing to try here. I mean, nobody owes anybody going to the game to try to save games in Little Rock. Why would you go watch that game in person? Again, watch it on television. Watch it at home. Get your Ed Bundy look going with last night's turkey leg stuck in your face and your other hand halfway in your pants and your Coors Light next to you and your feet up and family all around you, or maybe people you don't want to talk to, so you just zone out watching the game.
Before I click the generational gap, is that Married with Children?
You don't have to click generational gap, my friend. You nailed it.
So John is telling me that's one of his favorite TV shows. He's still a fan. I don't know if he still watches it or not, but I think I watched maybe partial episode, or just we were watching YouTube clips of it or whatever. But that's got why am I blanking on? Is it Christina Applegate? Is that who it is? Okay, who are the other actors and actresses in that?
Katie Siegel plays Peg, his wife. Ed O'Neill is Ed Bundy. I can't remember.
Isn't there one line in it? It's like, I don't want to have sex with you. You're my wife.
Right. That felt like the theme of the show, more than anything else.
Golly.
But did you know that the Ed Bundy look? You know, the look that I'm talking about. I mean, this is what he was known for: sitting on the couch, beer on his right side, left hand with just like half of his fingers up to the fat knuckle, in his pants, like by his belt buckle. Not all the way in, not juggling stuff around. Just sort of putting it there because he didn't know where else to put it.
David's texting on the chat.
Al Bundy, not Ed Bundy. What am I thinking, Ed Bundy?
It's
been a minute since I saw Married with Children.
At least he didn't say Ted Bundy. That would have been bad.
Yeah, that would have been a little uncomfortable.
So that's just a typical Thursday night for me, Phil. Just the relaxing. Well, without the beer portion. If it's a Friday or Saturday, not for me.
I just got a text from Tommy. And I guess this must show a little window into what is on the Thanksgiving table at the Kraft household. He reminded me that it's not Ed Bundy, it's Al Bunt. I think they must be having a bunt cake at the Kraft household at some point. Autocorrect killed you there, Tommy, but you're right. It was, and I should have known. That used to be appointment television for me. And I was like 12 years old when Married with Children came out. You never missed an episode.
Our Cherokee Casino Hotline's popping off more than it has all show just because we started talking about Married with Children. Like you said, Ed O'Neill's his real name. That's what David Clarksville said. Ross in Paris says Christina Applegate's hot. David Faustino. That's who it was. It was Bud. That's right. David Faustino. Okay. I feel like it's my civic duty. You're talking about civic duty for the 501 goers to go to the Little Rock game. Now I feel like I have to add this to my list to watch the show. Is it on Prime or?
I don't know where it is, but it's got to be out there somewhere because it's that's one of the shows that made Fox. Along with The Simpsons, those two, and maybe was it Cops? Was Cops on Fox? Somebody out there is going to remember this. These were the shows that really turned Fox into a network, and then Fox got the NFL, and so that's really what got Fox into everybody's minds. But then, here's the idea. Once Fox got sports, they got Major League Baseball, they got the NFL. They tried the NHL in the 90s for a while, but it didn't stick with them. Once they got the baseball and NFL football, Fox was, then no longer looked at as the young network, and it was no longer the big three. Then it turned into the big four. Fox is now big on college football, and they're going to make a real case to try to get the CBS package for the SEC. And it's not just Fox, right? Because they're kind of hitting a home run, it seems, with the ratings on these 12 o'clock games and the big noon kickoff and all that. But everybody knows that CBS underpays for the SEC
grossly.
Incredible. $55 million. And I saw, some people think that they could pay $55 million just for the SEC championship game,
alone,
not just the whole package.
So, Phil, what does that do for the broadcasters? Do we get Gus on SEC games?
Now that's the only reason you want them on Fox, right? That's the only reason. You want more Gus.
And I love Brad Nessler. Brad Nessler's either two or three for me is my favorite play-by-play guy. But you think about Gus Johnson on SEC football games, and I would assume they'd try and keep it in that same time slot. They would probably put him and Joel on the bigger game that day, either the SEC game or the 11 o'clock game, depending on the rights and Fox and everything shakes out. But, man, that's why I want Foxville, because the potential of Gus Johnson calling SEC games, people would lose their minds, and I'd love it.
I think people would be a little sad to lose CBS and no more Brad Nessler. I don't know whether, they probably wouldn't miss Gary Danielson, but there's that, whole thought of, the SEC turning into the most dominant conference in the country while it's being on CBS, and these things just seem to go together. Well, what do you think about that? Does it even matter to you if the CBS package moves to, or the SEC package moves over to another network? Let us know. 877-377-6963 is the Cherokee Casino hotline. Be sure to get over to Breeden RV in Van Buren. They'll take your holiday stress away. New or used RV, and you can pick your deal of either sales tax paid, 6 months with no payments, holiday cash back, or more for your trade. Plus, every new RV comes with free exclusive maintenance for life. Breeden RV, Alma Highway, Van Buren, BreedenRV.com. Quick break, back with more.
Ty Richardson. Follow them on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP and at Ty Sports Radio. This is the Morning Rush.
I get sick and tired of hearing all these national media members think that Arkansas was wrong for firing Chad Morris. Do they watch this season at all? Do they watch any games this year? Arkansas lost to San Jose State at home. They lost to Western Kentucky, got blown out by them at home. I don't know what team they've been watching this season, but to me it is completely and totally justifiable for firing Chad Morris.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney of Family Dentistry. They take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Our Black Friday event continues this week at Road Chevrolet in Van Buren. Hi, this is David Neal inviting you to save over 25% on a new 2019 Silverado Z71. That's up to $13,000 in savings, and save up to $6,000 on new Chevy Blazers. And I'd like to personally invite you to come in this Friday for free food and soft drinks to let us say thank you for your business. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. Find new roads.
See dealer for details.
B&J Comfort Solutions provides home comfort and energy solutions to the River Valley, specializing in residential sales, service, and installation, offering only the absolute best customer service around. Call them for any of your service, maintenance, or replacement needs. B&J Comfort Solutions offer an industry-leading 5-year labor warranty on all new system installations. Veteran-owned and operated, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Contact B&J Comfort Solutions today at 479-646-0284.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
We did it again. Evans Body Shop has been voted the best independent collision repair shop in the River Valley for the second year in a row. None of it would have been possible without our top-notch crew and our customers, friends, and family that take their time to vote for us. We would like to say thank you. We are humbled by the continued loyalty and support from our community and staff and will continue to go above and beyond every day. Evans Body Shop, 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren. Come by today and see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Protection with possibilities. Have past losses made you cautious about taking on risk with your investments? Are you concerned that your savings are not generating the returns you need? If you are interested in protecting your money and capturing potential investment growth, contact Brad Lewis at United Financial Advisors at 242-7466 or ufadvisors.net to see whether market-linked CDs may be the right solution for you.
Securities and advisory service offered through Royal Alliance Associates, member FINRA, SIPC. United Financial Advisors is a marketing destination.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Time running down. Arkansas having trouble getting out. U.S. lead with the play. It's in! It's in! U.S. lead! Let's see. Do they say it counts? It's all over. Arkansas has defeated Louisville. U.S. lead. Hitting from the half court. And it's a 1-point incredible victory for the Razorbacks.
So 1, 2, 3, take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really
The
want to
texts
make
keep
you
coming
mine.
in about Married with Children. That's getting the most reaction today. That and the Arkansas victory last night against Georgia Tech.
Mace.
Let's leave it up to the listeners here. What do you want to talk more about? You want to talk more about Married with Children, or you want to talk Arkansas basketball? It's a sports show, but we can talk about other things too. 877-377-6963 is the Cherokee Casino hotline. So we are reminded by Cody in Mountain Home that the X-Files was also very big on Fox. I thought that the X-Files, though, came around the same time that Fox got the NFL. Mulder and Scully, the smoking man, all that. Do you ever watch X-Files, Ty, or is that generational gap for you?
That's a generational gap. I know
it's
that
perfect for you, man. I mean, you're into
generational gap.
You're into the conspiracy theories, and that's all the X-Files was about. You know, that and aliens and stuff.
So is it just similar? I'm trying to think of the show that I was just thinking of popped out of my mind that I would compare it to, but it's just aliens incorporated within the program. That's basically what it is.
There's hints that they're there, and I didn't watch it to the very end, but there's also just other weird happenstances that these two FBI agents would chase after. You might like it. What else did we have? Oh, yeah, Married with Children is on Hulu for those who are looking for somewhere to watch the Ed Bundy move while you're watching TV. So you can watch it too, Ty. I feel like this has to be added on to some of the extra assignments that Maddie Travis has given you. I know. Yeah. I saw you with a DVD of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Tommy Boy more than anything else. I'm so happy you're finally going to watch Tommy Boy.
Yeah, Matty T came in this morning, and after the morning rush was over, he came in and was like, hey, man, I got to show you something. So he comes in with the 2 DVDs. It's like, you need to watch these. One, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is kind of a Thanksgiving movie. The other is just Tommy Boy. It's a classic that so many of our listeners have seen. And again, my list continues to grow. I told you last week it was above 60. Now I have 70-plus movies or TV shows that I'm supposed to watch eventually before I eventually croak out, Phil.
Bruce in Fort Smith wants to talk about how Al and Peg watched the game last night. Now, I don't know if Peg would have watched. He would have been, worrying about something else. Al would have watched in a very specific manner.
So
go ahead.
I was going to say, what's the premise of Married with Children? It's just the classic sitcom with a kind of an older sister, a younger brother, and kind of parents that.
I guess it had a little bit of like a honeymooners feel to it, but it was, I mean, it was about a married couple with children, and they didn't ever feel like they were really in love. They made fun of each other. They might not have really liked each other. They had neighbors that they despised, and kids that felt like they were out of control at times. And it was just a fun show. It was a fun show. David in Conway is all about the UCA Bears. I'm looking back on our texts here, and he sent 3 texts in the last month and a half, and it's all been about UCA football. So. Yes, UCA did get a first-round bye in the FCS playoffs. Southland Conference champions. I guess that's probably the most, consistent winning Division I football program in the state right now. I think you'd put it a little bit ahead of Arkansas State. D2, I think you'd look at Washita, Harding, and then Henderson. So there you go. There's a little talk about UCA. Not like I know enough about the Bears to really venture a guess whether or not they've got much of a shot to move forward. I know if they win their first-round game, they've got to go to North Dakota State, and North Dakota State is like the Alabama of FCS football. So just being in the playoffs is nice. Good luck if you do end up going to North Dakota State. Our Cherokee Casino hotline is open for you for the next 40 minutes and change. 877-377-6963, and we'll take your calls and texts. Let's go to Noah, who's dialed us up from Hackett. Hey, Noah, what's up?
What's up? I was just calling about the game last night.
Oh, good. You want to talk sports. I'm happy. Let's do it.
Yeah. Seems like Joe's been struggling here lately, and it seems when they needed a basket, Jimmy Witt was the man to go to, not Jones or Joe. It seems like, and he just wasn't hitting like he was at South Dakota.
Well, and Witt wasn't hitting like he was against South Dakota either.
That's who I was talking about.
That's who you're talking about. Yeah, and it was the same kind of spinning moves in the lane and fadeaways that he nailed against South Dakota that just weren't there for Jimmy yesterday. And look, he's not going.
But that's
to be
got me worried when you get to SEC play. That's got worried. If that's your go-to play, Jimmy Witt's a good basketball player, defensive-wise, and a hell of a rebounder. But I just don't think he could get by with consistent basis on that shot in the SEC against guards in the SEC.
Well, I mean, he's your third option to score, and right now he's the guy who will drive and pull up. More than an Isaiah and more than a Mason Jones. But I think still, this team is going to have to find a way. Somebody's got to get hot from outside. I think that's the thing that can win you a game or two. If you don't have that inside presence, and there's not going to be, you're going to be able to score in the paint, but it's going to be on drives. It's going to be on fast breaks and turning steals into points quickly, and that's what they've done. There's no post-up presence. Witt might be able to post up a smaller guard, but he's just not going to be a consistent, I think, 15 to 20 point scorer throughout the season. And you're right on that point that Isaiah Joe right now is cold. It doesn't necessarily mean that he can't help you. 9 rebounds, 5 steals, and played almost 43 minutes. I mean, Isaiah did things on the other side of the court that I think helped lead to this victory. But right now, Joe is hitting only 36% of his three-pointers. Yesterday, 3 for 10, had 2 wide-open looks in the overtime period. I mean, not a defender within sight, and it just wasn't there. So, while Arkansas is the best three-point defensive team in the country, they're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the country right now at 27.2%, and that's going to have to improve. I mean, you can win games defensively, but sooner or later you need somebody to come up and drain a few threes. You're going to have to outscore a team now and then.
So, Phil, you can look at Isaiah Joe's struggles in 2 separate ways. You can be optimistic or pessimistic. You can look at it on first hand. They're 6-0 with him only really having one great, consistent game this season so far. He had a good half and has had a really good game. 2, you can look at it pessimistically. What if this guy doesn't heat up? What if he doesn't get going? And what if the SEC guards really hone in on him and they just can't get anything going offensively? So I get both sides to the argument. I understand that, but I think right now you have to look at, from the optimistic standpoint, the fact that this team has been able to grind out wins and just how feverishly they've been playing on the defensive side of the basketball. It's a lot easier to transition defensively with the new head coach in basketball than it is on offense. I know that you're going from a from a full court press type situation to half court, but there's a lot more sets and stuff they're running. It just takes longer to pick that up. So you hope the offense will eventually get there. It's not there right now, but you should be satisfied as an Arkansas basketball fan that in spite of their poor shooting performances, outside of last night's ball game, Phil, they haven't really been challenged this year. They've been crushing teams, and it's not like it's the most elite competition. We'll see what happens when they go to Indiana, to Western Kentucky next week. But you have to be at least a little bit happy. Even the most pessimistic fans have to be a little bit happy with the season and how it's gone so far.
I don't feel any pessimism whatsoever from the fan base about Arkansas basketball right now. And I'm trying to drop in some questions here and there, about where they're a little bit deficient. Scoring is at the top of the list. Rebounding is there too. But when you are winning games defensively, that does give people the thought that if you have a tough shooting night, which Arkansas is having more often than you'd like to see, it can still find ways to win games. So, and you wonder if they're going to be challenged before the Western Kentucky game. And just going on the road for non-conference, especially going to a Conference USA team, you never know what's going to happen. That's going to be a challenge, whether Western Kentucky is playing well this season or not. But you get Northern Kentucky, the Norse, come to Bud Walton Arena Saturday at 4. Their record is 5-2, and then Austin Peay is going to be Arkansas's opponent after that, and the Governors are 3-3. So you might not get much of a test from either of them. I mean, really, you'd like to see them get out and score against both of those clubs, because other than 91 points against Rice and 82 points against Texas Southern, it's not been a roller coaster offensively. It's been a question mark offensively, and I think this team is better offensively than they have showed in this first month.
And I know Derek Ruskin asked this question: how will Hog fans respond if this team continues to grind out games? They don't have big offensive outputs. I think what you've seen so far is there are more fans that are flocking to them winning. Like I've always had the belief that if you win basketball games, you can see it. Virginia loves their basketball team, but they are hard to watch sometimes. But you know what they do? They produce wins in the win column, and that's why they have a ton of fans and are growing fans and growing their base, because they keep on winning under a tremendous coach in Tony Bennett. I see a similar trend. Like if Arkansas was, like if they played that way for a couple of years, but they kept on winning games under Muss, I don't see fans leaving this basketball team based on the style they play, because it's not the most exciting, at least thus far in Eric Musselman's tenure.
Can I just say, though, and I think we're loving where Arkansas basketball is right now, but if you're going to go the Virginia route, I don't really want to watch a lot of 43-39 games. That's nothing anybody's interested to watch. But then again, I mean, maybe you just want to see a win no matter what the score is. How about 2-0? All right, hey, we got the Branson giveaway going on at hitthatline.com right now. All you got to do, go to hitthatline.com, enter your name, email, address, and phone number, and you can enter for 3 nights at the Hilton, tickets to a Christmas show, North Pole Adventure, Ferris wheel ride of the Track Family Fun Park, and Branson Restaurant gift cards, brought to you by the Branson CVB, hitthatline.com, and ESPN Arkansas. All right, we'll come back after a very quick break.
Don't spend life sitting on your hands. You're listening to Halftime.
We wish you happy holidays from Breeden RV in Van Buren, where the year-end clearance sale continues. The holidays can be stressful. Why not take that stress away with the newer used RV? We'll even jingle your bells by letting you pick your deal. Sales tax paid, no payments for 6 months, holiday cash back, more for your trade. You choose the deal that's best for you. Remember, every new RV comes with Breeden's exclusive free maintenance for life.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Thanks, Eddie. Come see us on Elma Highway in Van Buren, or visit us on the web at BreedenRV.com.
See dealer for details.
This is Mark Hurst. Late fall and early winter are my favorite times of the year. High school football playoffs, time spent with my sons at deer camping in the duck blind, and the holiday season begins. November and December are also great times to take advantage of any remaining dental insurance benefits before the first of the year. Give us a call today at 474-1972 and let us help you maximize your remaining insurance benefits. Or if you don't have dental insurance, ask about our dental discount plan. Hurst Family Dental Care, a name you know and a name you can trust.
The biggest discounts ever during the Black Friday sales event at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 2019 Ford F-150 regular cab, the lowest price ever, only $19,999. 2019 Ford Escape slashed to $23,750, and the 2019 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive Super Cab, only $29,999. The biggest discounts ever during the Black Friday sales event at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
The second location for Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is now open, located on the east side of town on Phoenix Avenue, next to Dollar General and across from Interstate Batteries. Serving that award-winning Memphis-style barbecue and all your favorite sides, Monday through Saturday, 11 till 8. Pickup orders for Whole Hog Cafe Phoenix Avenue can be placed at 646-2495 or at WholeHogFortSmith.com. Whole Hog Cafe's second location on Phoenix Avenue is now open.
Save up to $2,700 $2,700 or no interest for 5 years on a brand new Hot Springs hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. The holiday sale is going on right now. Every hot tub in stock is on sale with over 60 luxury spas to choose from, and they start at just $26.95. Right now is the time. This includes delivery, cover, and startup chemicals. Stay warm and cozy this winter in your brand new hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. It's the perfect gift for you and your family. And right now, up to $2,700 off or no interest for 5 years on a brand new Hot Springs hot tub. And as part of the holiday sale, check out the full line of Big Green eggs and accessories at Burton Pools and Spas. It's the holiday sale going on right now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts, we're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Derek Hood, Kareem Reed, Pat Bradley, Lance Keeling. Senior night, a success.
Only about 30 minutes left here on this Tuesday of halftime. I'm out tomorrow, heading to the Bahamas with Arkansas women's basketball. Ty is going to man the show along with our man, Matty T. And no halftime on Thanksgiving and no halftime on Friday. Wouldn't it be interesting, though, Ty, if halftime of Arkansas, Missouri would coincide with the time that halftime would usually start? I don't think it works out that way. What time is kickoff on Friday? I am blissfully unaware.
1:30.
1:30.
Yeah.
Nah, it wouldn't work out that way. First quarter will be the end of halftime, or what halftime usually would be. I do know that Tommy and John will have a regular show in the morning rush, essentially is the pregame show as Arkansas Game Day on Friday.
It's going to be a little adjusted, so they will be at Randall Ford from 7 o'clock to 10:30 on Friday, and then we'll get you right into the IMG pregame, then have the game for you, then the postgame, and then Hog reaction for it. And then tomorrow, I think Phil mentioned this, but we will just be doing national radio tomorrow, so we will be – no, sorry, let me correct that. Thursday, Thanksgiving. That's will be national stuff because we will be home with our families celebrating Thanksgiving. So
I'm going to be in Nassau eating conch chowder for Thanksgiving. It's going to be like the weirdest feeling Thanksgiving. And a few years ago, Arkansas women's basketball went to Puerto Rico for Thanksgiving, and we had what felt like a traditional Thanksgiving meal inside a Denny's a Denny's. It was the Denny's inside the Hilton Hotel in San Juan, and that felt weird, but it was actually pretty good. I thought I might, order a Moons Over my hammy for Thanksgiving dinner, but no, it was turkey and stuffing and all that kind of stuff. We got a couple of good texts here from listeners, from halftimers that are talking about Isaiah Joe's shooting slump, and I guess you can put it in that terminology here. Shane and Dirks thinks that Isaiah Joe will pick up. He's just in a slump. He's always been a good shooter, and hopefully by conference play, he's going to be good to go. Casey and Ozark thinks that part of the problem is minutes, because playing tenacious defense gets your legs tired, and a three-point shooter is 75% in your legs. He thinks he'll get it going. I mean, so that does lead to one aspect of how this team has played. And yet, I mean, it's not the deepest bench in the world, but the starting five have played 77% of the total team minutes. So, I mean, the starting five of Jones, Joe, Witt, Sills, and Bailey, each averaging over 25 minutes per game. Bailey's averaging 25 minutes. The other four are averaging at least 30 minutes per game. And Joe has played 37 minutes per game. So, I mean, I think that these things do go a little bit hand in hand. You would think that means then that if you're going by the thought of legs, that you shoot well in the first half and might slump a little bit in the second half. But it's mostly been throughout the season. I mean, it wasn't his best moment this year was second half against Texas Southern. So I think Shane makes a good point. It's got to be a little bit more than just the legs. I think part of it is also, and I'm seeing this with women's basketball where Amber Ramirez and Chelsea Dungy have been hot and cold shooting the three. This just might be the way they're starting the season. And shooters shoot, and the only way you get out of a shooting slump is to continue to shoot. And Musselman's talking about, you don't talk to the players about it. You let them handle it themselves. He knows what he needs to get his shot where it needs to be. I mean, sooner or later, you would figure the shot shows up.
Before we get to Robert and David, we also need to throw in the fact we failed to mention that three-point lines move back.
That's right.
We haven't factored that into the equation yet. So I haven't seen the statistics compared to last year to this year, but I would assume that most teams across college basketball are dipping a little bit in terms of their typical three-point percentage. Now, Arkansas is pretty down compared to what they were last year, and you hope that picks up. But we got to remember that they moved the line back, so players are still adjusting not only to Eric Musselman's system on offense, but the new three-point line as well, Phil.
All right, our callers on the Cherokee Casino hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's go to Robert in Fort Smith. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Hey, guys, real quick, I'm gonna go down a different path. Sorry for that, but I'm driving and I've kind of seen thinking about high school. Would y'all ever consider doing like a 15-minute segment of high school football? Because y'all do your get off my lawn and your own personal things, and you've had a lot of people call in asking about Rick Jones as a head coach or Pulaski's head coach, so you know they're watching it. So I just seen if y'all ever think about doing a little high school football.
Well, that might be something we think about for next year, because high school football season's just about done.
Big games this weekend, so we'll see. I know there's a couple close to home, obviously, Greenwood and then Little Rock Christian, some others. I'm hoping for another Little Rock Christian PA not national title, high school championship, and some other 5As. That would be, Robert, those would be one of those segments where Phil and I would not necessarily have to we'd have to get a guest on or something specifically for that, because we'd be lying if we were told you we were experts about high school football in this state.
Anybody out there that's interested, if you can let us know if you'd be interested in a high school segment for next season. So, I mean, we're worried about something that we might get into in August. 877-377-6963 to let us know. And let's go back to that Cherokee Casino hotline where David in Clarksville is on hold. Hey, David, thanks for holding. What's up?
Hey, Phil. Guys, I appreciate you guys a lot. Good show. I text in usually with Ty, but just a quick question before our last show of the week. What are the odds on Monday that we're talking about who our new football coach is on the show? What's you guys' thoughts on the percentages of that?
Well, David, I think it comes down to who they hire. So if your potential next head coach is in a conference championship, then that's obviously going to weigh. And then there's the idea that maybe they don't get a deal done by this weekend. They have to wait a little longer. But I don't know. And again, I've said this once, I'll say it again, and I've said it a lot more than once. Any leaks, anything you hear about the coaching search, be very wary of believing or buying into that idea until you actually see a press release from the University of Arkansas that I just would not believe, regardless of how tight the source is, of how much you trust a certain media member. I'm just telling you, just be careful when it comes to getting your hopes up when you think about a prospective head coach.
Well, and some media members might be more dialed in than others. Some are saying, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. It's awfully difficult to find a way to clear the smoke and figure out where the fire is coming from or if it's any fire anyway. And I put it a pretty low percentage on a coach being hired by Monday. I would expect, though, that you'll have a coach by the end of next week. I don't have any concrete reasons for feeling that, but with you have the 3-week buffer leading into the end of the regular season. You would imagine that there's already a short list for Hunter Yurachek and John Fagg, and once the season's done, you start talking to those people, or they've already spoken to their agents, figure who's got some interest in it. I think sometime next week. I don't think it'll be Monday. But I do think sometime next week there will be a new head coach for Arkansas football. 877-377-6963 is the Cherokee Casino hotline. We've got another segment or so coming up in just a little bit. Let's see. Scott and Harrison says that Adrio Bailey's been playing his butt off, undersized but battling like a man in there. And, I mean, there's so many players on this basketball team that you need right now amongst the starting five to do a lot of things for you. Bailey's he's playing the 4 and occasionally playing the 5 when Reggie Chaney's not in there, so that means he's playing the 5 more often than anybody else. And he's averaging just under 8 points, a little less than 6 rebounds. He's been defending really well. And I mean, what is it you need from Bailey? He's an energy guy, he's a hustle guy, he's a defender, and he's going to just have to play bigger than his size this year.
Block-wise, he's been incredible this year. I think he finished against Texas Southern with 4 or 5 blocks in that basketball game. Just was all over the floor. And you mentioned his height. Dude's only like 6'7", so it's not like he's a towering 7-footer or anything like that. He's used his athleticism. He's been smart, and he's got not really that much foul trouble. They're going to need him for SEC play to continue. They're just, like you said, they can't afford any injuries with their rotation right now, Phil. One injury on this basketball team would be detrimental to what could possibly happen the rest of the season.
And by the way, Western Kentucky does have a 6'11" center in Charles Bassey, who is going to be a load for anybody to handle on Arkansas, even if you had somebody who is 6'11". Halftime is brought to you by Breeden RV and Power Sports in Van Buren, where the year-end clearance sale continues right now. Great deals on new RVs, and you get a chance to pick your deal. Either no payments for 6 months, they'll pay your sales tax for you, or holiday cash back, or more for your trade. Whatever works best for you will work best for Breeden RV. They're on Alma Highway in Van Buren, also at BreedenRVs.com. We'll come back with closing up the show and a cherry on the top on halftime, so stay tuned.
When in doubt, expense it. You're listening to Halftime.
Frank Rowe Furniture's Black Friday sale will be opening Thanksgiving Day at 2 p.m. and regular hours on Friday and Saturday for a 3-day Black Friday super sale. 5-piece queen bedroom suits $5.99, 5-piece king bedroom suits $6.99, black or white kids soccer beds $50, glider rockers and regular recliners $150 while supplies last. Customers with purchase of $1,000 more will receive a free 32-inch TV while supplies last. Frank Rowe Furniture Black Friday sale, best seats in the house.
Hurry in now to the Black Friday sales event going on at Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Stigler, Oklahoma. Get great deals all month long on 2019s and the all-new 2020s. Give us a try before you buy. And no standing in line is required because this sale is today and all through November. Get Black Friday sales event savings and have a holiday to remember. Go to buywilliams.com and check out their impressive inventory. Then go to Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Stigler, Oklahoma, where the Black Friday sales event is going on now.
Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all repairs. Paintless Dent Repair, door dings, unsightly dents, and hail damage repair, all repaired to like new conditions. With over 1 million repaired vehicles with satisfied customers, Michael Littleton is the expert in paintless repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, conveniently located 3 miles from the Arcoma exit off Highway 112. Or call 479-461-9764. Your #1 Arkansas fan.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHiggins AdvanceTrucking.com.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to WaveRuralConnect.com to sign up. That's WaveRuralConnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. They have locations in Fort Smith, Mayflower, Jonesboro, Pine Bluff, and Little Rock. Or you can find them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price. Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
This is ESPN 95.3. Touchdown! Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Listen to the crowd as they cheer Sidney Moncrief. Eddie Sutton and Moncrief on the sideline as Sidney will get a standing ovation here as he wraps up a great home career.
877-377-6963 to get with us for this final segment of Halftime on a Tuesday, in which we've got a few things to get off our lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Listen, old man.
Do not your what?
Announce my presence with authority. Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
The old man.
Get off my lawn. Presented by Breeden RV and Power Sports.
Over to Breeden RV. The clearance sale continues. Pick your deal. Sales tax paid. 6 months and no payments. Holiday cash back or more for your trade. Whatever works best for you works for Breeden RV and Power Sports. And you'll also get, with a new RV, exclusive free maintenance for life at Breeden. They're on Alma Highway in Van Buren and also at BreedenRVs.com. So I hadn't really picked one yet for Get Off My Lawn here, because I'm kind of getting off of the entire lawn by heading out to the Bahamas for the next few days. So Ty, I kind of felt like you might want to kick me off the lawn because, you know, I mean, what is Thanksgiving supposed to be about for you? Tell me what Thanksgiving is to you.
Family
in your 24
doing
years.
halftime with Phil Elson, of course.
That's what it means?
That's what it means, dude.
Well, you're not doing the show with me on Thursday, nor are you doing the show with me tomorrow. Here's what Thanksgiving means to me. As somebody who's been doing college basketball broadcast for now 14 years, it is not family, unfortunately, because that's what Thanksgiving used to mean to me. It now means travel. It means basketball games with a couple dozen people in the seats and eating some non-traditional Thanksgiving foods. Like, have you ever had conch? Do you know what I'm talking about if I say
When you
conch?
mentioned that, I didn't know what that was. No.
So conch is a mollusk. It lives in a shell, and it is tough, and it is edible in many kinds of ways. You can make conch salad, where you cure it with lemon and vinegar. There you can make conch chowder, which is sort of like a New England clam chowder, but the conch is the clam. Or you can just, tear it into little pieces and fry it and make conch fritters. Or you can just eat the thing after baking it. This is a pretty tasty food. I have a feeling that I'm going to be eating conch on Thanksgiving. So, I mean, the weird part about this, even like I said, when we were in Puerto Rico a few years ago, we ate turkey in Puerto Rico. So that felt traditional. But to not eat turkey on Thanksgiving, to me, feels weird. Now, I know there's a lot of people who will go ham over turkey. But usually those are like the only two options, right? Unless you're going the vegetarian route, then you just go with your sides. And for a lot of people, Thanksgiving is about the sides. But I think it's just going to feel a little bit weird to not. I don't know if we're having ham. I think ham might be popular on the Bahamas, but I have no idea what it's going to be. They told us to be ready for a Thanksgiving dinner, but it's not going to be traditional Thanksgiving food. So, and it doesn't disappoint me. It just feels odd. It's not going to feel like a Thanksgiving because, Puerto Rico celebrates Thanksgiving because it's part of the United States. The Bahamas doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. You know what Thursday is in the Bahamas, Ty?
Thursday.
It's Thursday. That's exactly right. It's just another day. It's just another day to go eat conch and drink a kalik and go on the beach and use a water jet ski. I mean, I'm assuming the Bahamian banks will be open. The government will be working, and we're going to be there, feet in sand, without family. Probably, I don't think many of the players, if any, have family coming because it's too expensive for this resort we're staying at. So we're all going to be family together. So, my get off my lawn is me getting off the lawn of the United States on Thanksgiving and going to a place where there is no Thanksgiving. Very weird.
Aaron in Clarksville texted on the Cherokee Casino hotline. He says, take a turkey Lunchable, Phil.
See, we got to go through customs first. I wonder if they'll let me bring meat from the United States to the Bahamas.
Spam. So
spam for Thanksgiving. Boy, that sounds delicious.
We used to make spam sculptures at a camp that I used to go to when I was younger, and that was it was just the smell was just disgusting.
Oh, you can smell it. Smells saltier than the sea.
Ugh.
Spam and eggs, pretty popular dish. In Hawaii, McDonald's sells spam. It's ingrained in the Hawaiian culture because I'm pretty sure the reasoning was as close as Hawaii was to Japan during World War II, that was the only meat that they were rationed to eat. So spam, and Hormel must have loved that.
Well, speaking of Hawaii, Bill Walton's down there in Hawaii, Phil. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I watched a little bit of the, the Kansas Chaminade game last night.
And where he broke off when Chaminade scored the first bucket, something to the extent of this could be the greatest basketball upset of all time.
Now, hold on. Chaminade did beat Indiana one time.
Did they?
A Bob Knight Indiana team at the Maui Classic or the Maui Invitational. Isn't Chaminade a Division II team?
I have no idea. But
I think they are.
I can imagine how salty and angry he was after that basketball game. So, as always, Bill Walton, I got 3 clips that we're going to play. He delivers some great liners. This first one, talking about his grandchildren.
Scaring all the little children away. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of little ones. I'll grind their bones and drink their blood. Oh, my goodness. Our 9 grandchildren, they're terrified of me as well.
We have to remember that he says all this stuff during an actual ESPN broadcast during a game. This is not him off air. This is not him on Twitter. This is not him in a various location talking to people. This is during a televised basketball game and where a lot of people are paying attention. So that's the first clip. Phil, the second one, this is talking about him and Dave Pash's plans after the game.
Point Cougar lead. We'll tell Danny Ainge stories later
all night
after
long.
The game. But let's get back to this here.
We'll be at Fleetwood's later, or we'll be down at the Tommy Bahama food truck.
Who's we? We're going to bed. We got to get up early. We got to be back here in 10 hours.
I'm sleeping in the parking lot under the palm trees. The moon is going to come out.
Here's
West Maui, that beautiful path.
And I love how he transitions from talking about sleeping in the parking lot under the beautiful Maui palm trees with the sun coming up to, oh, nice pass. Like that, he flips it on like that. That cracks me up. Last clip for you, Phil. This is him describing the Kansas basketball team.
The men have arrived. This Kansas team, oh my gosh, they are like a volcano. They are like a waterfall that just goes right over everything. They are like a breaching whale that just jumps across your screen at indiscriminate times. What's your name again?
Let's get to the player that we want to talk about here.
The waterfalls that just keep coming down, they have no chance against Udoka, one of my favorite players in all of the land.
For those watching our live stream, Phil looks like his eyes are about to pop out of his head right now. He's not the biggest Bill Walton fan.
I don't have a problem with Walton. I just think it would be really difficult to work with him, just because you try to call the play, and he's talking about something that has nothing to do with the game. But on the other hand, I mean, he obviously knows that that's what is expected of him. You know, this is Bill Walton playing the Bill Walton character now. I don't know if he's always talked like this or if he's always analyzed games in this manner, but I think that's, in his mind, what's expected of him, and he's only there to deliver what's expected.
He delivers, man, but that's just the thing. So my get off my lawn is for people who don't like Bill Walton. And most situations, I'm a no-nonsense guy, but if you're going to have antics like that, or if you're going to be funny, or if you're going to try and draw in hilarious comparisons to your job, you have to be good at it, or it's got to be free. It's got to be natural, and he is so natural in the way he articulates some of the most wild phrases that I've ever heard come out of his mouth. Like, those were all, I believe, in one basketball game, the Kansas Chaminade game. Actually, I think one of them might have been in the BYU game, but he's just so free-flowing, just like on cloud nine, basically. It's incredible. I really enjoy his basketball. And again, I'm pretty no-nonsense when I'm watching a sport broadcast for the most part, but he's kind of the exception to the rule, Phil.
Doug in Mountain Home says, I love Walton and his antics. And then Dwight in Fort Smith says they need to mute him. He just runs his mouth to hear himself talk and doesn't think he's a commentator. So right then and there, I mean, you're getting both ends of the spectrum. Walton, you either love him or you hate him. You know, he's kind of like Howard Cosell in that case. But it's not because he's full of himself and not because he's got the giant ego. It's because people just some people just want to hear about the game they're watching, and some people want a little added personality and, oh my goodness, what is this incredibly goofy guy going to say next? And I just want him to call another Arkansas game, because I don't think I've ever enjoyed Twitter more than I did than the game that he called Arkansas, North Carolina, in Portland a couple of years ago. And, I mean, Arkansas fans were up in arms about Bill Walton. It was entertaining. They hated him. They hated him. And I was entertained by a little bit of that hatred. And I just want to hear Walton do an Arkansas game, because I don't usually stay up late enough to watch him do the Pac-12.
Phil, I wonder what would be the consensus broadcaster that Arkansas fans like, because you think about how much people think that Arkansas is somehow biased against by certain commentators in the NCAA itself. Is there like one singular broadcaster you think the fans would be acceptable with, or just that they genuinely like across the board?
Well, they're not a fan of Greg McElroy right now, I can tell you that. Oh, all right. I guess we should close it up here. Ty, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving holiday, man. I'll miss you for the next 3 days. I'll come back and I'll annoy JT in Hot Springs with all of my bragging about going to the Bahamas. That one's just for you, JT. All right, stay tuned for Matty T and Ty tomorrow. For Ty, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
The year-end clearance offers at